I'm Jamie. Today's 397 of reading, Harry Potter and Order of the Phoenix. Let's get started. We're currently on page 275 at the somewhere around the bottom of the page. A roar of sound greeted him. Ron came running toward him, beaming all over his face and slopping butterbeer down his front from the goblet he was clutching. Harry, I did it! I'm in! I'm keeper! What? Oh, brilliant, said Harry, trying to smile naturally, while his heart continued to race and his hand throbbed and bled. Have a butterbeer. Ron pressed the bottle onto him. I can't believe it. Where's Hermione gone? She's there, said Fred, who was also swigging butterbeer, and pointed to an armchair by the fire. Hermione was dozing in it, her drink tipping precariously in her hand. Well, she said she was pleased when I told her, said Ron, looking slightly put out. Let her sleep, said George hastily. It was a few moments before Harry noticed that several of the first years gathered around them, but had unmistakable signs of recent nosebleeds. Come here, Ron, and see if Oliver's old robes fit you, called Katie Bell. We can take off his name and put yours on instead. As Ron moved away, Angelina came striding up to Harry. Sorry I was a bit short with you earlier, Potter, she said abruptly. It's stressful, this managing lark, you know. I'm starting to think I was a bit hard on Wood sometimes. She was watching Ron over the rim of her goblet with a slight frown on her face. Look, I know he's your best mate, but he's not fabulous, she said bluntly. I think with a bit of training he'll be all right, though. He comes from a family of good Quidditch players. I'm banking on him turning out to have a bit more talent than he showed today. To be honest, Vicky Frobisher and Geoffrey Hooper both flew better this evening, but Hooper's a real whiner. He's always moaning about something or the other, and Vicky's involved in all sorts of societies. She admitted herself that if training clashed with her charms club, she'd put charms first. Anyway, we have a practice session at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Just make sure you're there on time. And do me a favor and help her on as much as you can, okay? He nodded and Angelina strolled back to Alicia's spinet. Harry moved over to sit next to Hermione, who awoke with a jerk as he put down his bag. Oh, Harry, it's you. Good about Ron, isn't it? She said blearily. I'm just so tired, she yawned. I was up until 1 o'clock making more hats. They're just disappearing like mad. And sure enough, now that he looked, Harry saw that there were woolly hats concealed all around the room, where unwary elves might accidentally pick them up. Great, said Harry distractedly. If he did not tell somebody soon, he would burst. Listen, Hermione, I was just up in Umbridge's office, and she touched my arm. Hermione listened closely. When Harry had finished, she said slowly, You're worried that you know who's controlling her like he controlled Quirrell? Well, said Harry, dropping his voice, it's a possibility, isn't it? I suppose so, said Hermione, though she sounded unconvinced. But I don't think he can be possessing her the way he possessed Quirrell. I mean, he's properly alive again now, isn't he? He's got his own body. He wouldn't need to share someone else's. He could have her under the Imperious curse, I suppose. Harry watched Fred, George, and Lee Jordan juggling empty butterbeer bottles for a moment. Then Hermione said, But last year your scar hurt when nobody was touching you. And didn't Dumbledore say it had to do with what you-know-who was feeling at the time? I mean, maybe this hasn't got anything to do with Umbridge at all. Maybe it's just coincidence it happened while you were with her? She's evil, said Harry, flatly, twisted. She's horrible, yes. But, Harry, I think you ought to tell Dumbledore your scar hurt. It was the second time in 2 days he had been advised to go to Dumbledore, and his answer to Hermione was just the same as his answer to Ron. I'm not bothering him with this. Like you just said, it's not a big deal. It's been hurting on and off all summer. It was just a bit worse tonight, that's all. Harry, I'm sure Dumbledore would want to be bothered by this. Yeah, said Harry, before he could stop myself. That's the only bit of me Dumbledore cares about, isn't it? My scar? Don't say that. It's not true. I think I'll write and tell Cyrus about it. See what he thinks. Harry, you can't put something like that in a letter, said Hermione, looking alarmed. Don't you remember? Moody told us to be careful what we put in writing. We just can't guarantee owls aren't being intercepted anymore. All right, I won't tell him then, said Harry irritably. He got to his feet. I'm going to bed. Tell Ron for me, will you? Oh, no, said Hermione, looking relieved. If you're going, that means I can go without being rude, too. I'm absolutely exhausted, and I want to make some more hats tomorrow. Listen, you can help me if you'd like. It's quite fun. I'm getting better. I can do patterns and baubles and all sorts of things now. Harry looked into her face, which was shining with glee, and tried to look as though he were vaguely tempted by this offer. No, I don't think I will, thanks, he said. Not tomorrow. I've got loads of homework to do. He traipsed off to the boys' stairs, leaving her looking slightly disappointed behind him. Chapter 14. Percy and Padfoot. Harry was the first to awake in his dormitory the next morning. He lay for a moment watching dust swirl and the chink of sunlight falling through the gap in his four-posters hanging, and savored the thought that it was Saturday. The first week of the term seemed to have dragged on forever, like one gigantic history of magic lesson. Judging by the sleepy silence and the freshly minted look of the beam of sunlight, it was just after daybreak. He pulled open the curtains around his bed, got up, and started to dress. The only sound apart from the distant twittering of birds was the slow, deep breathing of his fellow Gryffindors. He opened his school bag carefully, pulled out parchment and quill, and headed out of the dormitory for the common room. Making straight for his favorite squashy old armchair beside the now extinct fire, Harry settled himself down comfortably and unrolled his parchment while looking around the room. The detritus of crumpled up bits of parchment, old gobstones, empty ingredient jars, and candy wrappers that usually covered the common room at the end of each day was gone, as were all Hermione's elf hats. Wondering vaguely how many elves had now been set free, whether they wanted to be or not, Harry uncorked his ink bottle, dipped his quill into it, and then held it suspended an inch above the smooth yellowish surface of his parchment, thinking hard. But after a minute or so he found himself staring into the empty grate, at a complete loss of what to say. He could now appreciate how hard it had been for Ron and Hermione to write him letters over the summer. How was he supposed to tell Cyrus everything that had happened over the past week and pose all the questions he was burning to ask without giving potential letter thieves a lot of information he did not want them to have? He sat quite motionless for a while, gazing into the fireplace. Then, finally coming to a decision, he dipped his quill into the ink bottle once more and set it resolutely upon the parchment. Dear Snuffles, I hope you're okay. The first week back here has been terrible. I'm really glad it's the weekend. We've got a new defense against the dark arts teacher, Professor Umbridge. She's nearly as nice as your mom. I'm writing because the thing I wrote to you about last summer happened again last night when I was doing a detention with Umbridge. We're all missing our biggest friend. We hope he'll be back soon. Please write back quickly. Best, Harry. Harry reread this letter several times, trying to see it from the point of view of an outsider. He could not see how they would know what he was talking about or who he was talking to, just from reading this letter. He did hope Cyrus would pick up the hint about Hagrid and tell them when he might be back. Harry did not want to ask directly in case it drew too much I can't keep reading. Quick translation. Dear Snuffles, hope you're okay. The first week back here has been terrible. I'm really glad it's the weekend. We have a new defense against the dark arts teacher, Professor Umbridge. She's very mean. I'm writing because my scar hurt and we're all missing Hagrid. Tomorrow we're going to be page 281. Bookmark close. Peace out.